Hello everyone, my name is Julie and today we're back with another long form reading journal update. I've been really enjoying filming these and you guys have really enjoyed watching them, so it's kind of like a win-win. Long journaling sessions are honestly my favorite. I love stacking up 3 or 4 reads and then doing it all in one go. It's a ton of fun, and so I hope you enjoy. Let's get right into the journaling. As always, I come very prepared. I've got all of my stats and all the books I have to log, so let's just go and start at the very beginning as per usual. Here on my 2026 best books, I have selected my best book in May, and to nobody's surprise, it is once again a Brandon Sanderson book. So my best book in May was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is the final book in the Mistborn trilogy of the Greater Cosmere. So where I'm going to go in that book world next is a little uncertain because you're supposed to kind of go into the Stormlight archive and all those books are over 1,000 pages and I'm a little scared. But for now, this was the best book I read in May. It was a really tough competition. I read a lot of amazing books in May, but this one definitely stood out. Now we're going to log all the books I haven't yet done so in May. We have Writers and Lovers by Lily King, Dawn of the Dawn Volume 15, of course The Hero of Ages, and Recursion by Blake Crouch. I don't think I said those in the correct order. But nonetheless, I'm gonna do 4 more blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we were definitely up this month with a total of 15 reads. Not quite surpassing my March reads, but pretty close. And 4. Yep, so ending off the month with 15 total books. Definitely an improvement from April. So in my bookshelf spread, we're going to do a fantasy book, a fiction book, a sci-fi book, and a manga. Fantasy, fiction, science fiction, and manga. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna fill in 3 books in here. Okay, so I've logged those 3 books, and the Dawn of the Dawn volume I'll be putting in my manga reading log. Don't fret, I have not forgotten about it. Here in which days I finished a book, I finished on the 27th, the 29th, and I finished 2 books on the 31st. So we'll use our lighter shade green for 1 book on the 27th and 29th. And this darker shade for the 31st to show that I finished 2 books as per my key. In my series tracker, we can finally cross off another book. We finished the last book in the Mistborn trilogy. I have not been doing very well with my series this year. I've just kind of been letting them fall to the wayside, and honestly now I feel like I am so behind in all these that I can't even catch up, but whatever. In my alphabet challenge, I can only fill out 1 thing, and that's R for recursion in the book challenge. I'm really getting down to some of the difficult letters, so as always, if you have any suggestions for things like Q and Z and X, of course, let me know. Then we have these 2 charts, my author gender and fiction versus nonfiction. As always, I mean, these are just kind of for fun for me, just because I know that I read more fiction. I know I read more female authors, but I want to see it visually. So in this particular set of books, we've read 2 female authors, 2 male authors, and all of them have been fiction. Yeah, go figure. And now we have everybody's favorite spread. We have the book Tetris. So we're going to do a fantasy block, we're going to do a sci-fi block, and a fiction block. I don't have one for manga, so we're just going to do those 3. There we go, beautiful. In my 26 and 2026 challenge, we can cross off 2 of these books actually, very exciting. We can do Recursion and Writers and Lovers. And I like to try to match, you know, the color to just the color of the book. So we'll do a yellow for Recursion, and for Writers and Lovers, we'll maybe do, you know, black and red. Okay, I mean, I don't love how that came out. I never said I was the most creative person in the world, and that definitely shows, but whatever. A for effort, I guess. Let's carry on before I think too much about it. In my genre tracker, we'll do the same as before: fantasy, fiction, manga, and science fiction. Okay, and in page count tracker, we have a 700-page book, 2 300-page books, and 1 in the 100 to 199. Okay, in my rating tracker, we actually had 2 5-star reads. That was Hero of Ages and Writers and Lovers, and then Recursion and the Yona the Dawn volume I rated 4 stars. My binding tracker, 3 of these I read as a paperback, 1 as a hardcover. In my manga reading log, we will add volume 15 of Yona of the Dawn. In my book bingo, we're going to color in a couple of these blocks. We'll do last book in a series for the Hero of Ages, since it's technically the finale to the original Mistborn trilogy. We'll do a science fiction book for Recursion and a contemporary book for Writers and Lovers. And I'll use these colorful pens to write in the titles. Can you even see that? Barely. Beautiful. Here we are with our stats, our beautiful, beautiful stats. We are starting June with 86 books on my library TBR. I've definitely been cleaning out these TBRs this month, so I think these numbers will actually go down despite how many books I bought in May. So we went down 4 for my library TBR, which again, I always say this, it's literally just a note in my phone of books I want to take out from the library. Books that I don't really care to own, but I think I would like to take out from the library. Libby went down to 72. I was kind of just cleaning it up, so I added 1 book to my Libby TBR, but I deleted 7. GoodReads TBR went down to 132, so I read a lot of books for my GoodReads TBR. In fact, I added 1, and then I read 8 of them off my GoodReads TBR. I usually don't delete anything off my GoodReads TBR unless I read it, because I keep it pretty up to date, so. And physical TBR, I feel like this math I always gets wonky and weird and wrong, but we added 16 books and took 9 off. I read 5, and then I think I unhauled a couple, so that's how the math somehow worked out, ending us with 65 books on the physical TBR. So in total, somehow, despite plus 16 on my physical TBR, we are down to 355, which again, the math never maths for me, but minus 10. Sure, we'll go with it. So in May, I read 8 books off of my physical TBR. That's because I had a couple of holdovers from April. I read 0 audiobooks. I actually read my nonfiction book this month, shockingly. I read 0 books off Libby, which again, make that math make sense. I don't know. From the library, I read 4 books. I read 3 arcs, and once again, 0 books for my Kindle library because I just use Libby instead. So we ended with a total of 15 books. Yes, we're back to our normal numbers, and 5,791 pages. Excellent, very good. Nothing from my seasonal TBRs, but we have my 2026 best book bracket, and as I said, the best book I read was The Hero of Ages, and I think I'm ready to make some decisions here. I think I will have no problem choosing The Hero of Ages against Before We Were Yours. Of course, I love this book since it did make it to my best book bracket, but this book, unbelievable, crazy. And then in my January, February, March matchup, I am actually going to choose Station 11. So then I'm just going to take my pink marker and show these winners. Beautiful. In my publication tracker, we have 1 book in the 2000s, 2 in the 2010s, and 1 in the 2020s. And shockingly, neither The Hero of Ages or Writers and Lovers made me cry, so we'll move on from there to our monthly TBR, where we can cross off 3 of these. And then shockingly, we're gonna do more stats. I know, it's a lot, but we have ended the month with 15 books read across several different genres as per usual. 4 fantasy books, 2 mystery thrillers, 2 historical fiction, 3 general fiction or contemporary or lit fic, whatever you want to call it, 2 science fiction, 1 nonfiction, and 1 manga volume. I had an average star rating of 4.29 stars, which definitely represents what an excellent month I had of reading. I finished 83% of my TBR. Yeah, I'm still reading Lolita. The Chain, I don't even know why I put it on there. I thought my book club was going to start back up again. It did not. 5,791 pages read, as we mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of my reads for the month. So we're going to do some cutting, pasting, coloring, and writing. I went ahead and did all of the details for the additional reads. I'm going to fill in my notes at a later date, hopefully, unless I forget, which I usually do. So we're going to just quickly put together a June spread. If you could tell, I already have the dots denoting where to put all the information, where to do all the lines, because, I mean, obviously I have a trend here. I've just been kind of following the same format for the past, now 5 months, now 6. But I've just been really enjoying it. I don't feel like doing anything super complicated, like scrapbooky or anything. So I'm actually going to pull inspiration from my 2025 journal because I really love my June page in last year's journal. So I think I'm just going to like imitate this color theme and these little squigglies. I think this is so much fun. And we're going to try to do that here. Yeah, let's do it. Gonna go in with this washi tape. It looks a little dull on camera, but it's because it's kind of layered on itself. Once I spread it out, it's a little bit more colorful. Okay, bad YouTuber alert, but I got frustrated trying to do this on camera, so I just finished it up off camera. This is my June TBR page. It's pretty reminiscent to the one I did last year, but I really just kind of like the colors and the vibes for summer. So those are all of my journal updates for this month. I hope to see you guys next time. Okay, so there are my May and June reading journal updates. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope it was satisfying. It scratched that itch in your brain. Let me know if you've been doing any reading journaling, if you have any suggestions for me. I love reading your comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I will see you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scout, and goodbye.